Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spock coming at you with the Wiki Comic Book Roundup. We're at the end of our DC haul for this week. I said it's a light week for DC. So let's kick things off with Absolute Batman number 4. So this issue kind of takes a detour from the main story. We've got it. The main story, part of the main story has been dealing with the origin of Batman in the Absolute Universe. But and this kind of goes into Batman's. This issue goes into Batman's early days operating as Batman. So the issue opens with Joe Chill's trial. Apparently, Joe Chill has prepared a statement, and the judge has granted Bruce, the young Bruce Wayne, the right to speak before the statement. Then we cut to years later. Three people living in in Crime Alley are basically doing what they can to stand up to the area's gang. One of them, but the gangs say that want to be convinced that three of them, why these three people should be exempt from basically paying protection. Because the people, and the people that are paying protection, they have pride in the place, and upkeep costs money. But one of the old woman, she has a kid in school. And the gang leader says that they're 10 thieves. That's not a gang. They want to keep the place safe, but without proper funding, they can't do that. And so, the woman gets pushed off the roof. And just as suddenly is thrown back on the roof by Batman. Batman goes after the thieves. Rather violently. We also get some flashbacks to Bruce's childhood before Thomas Wayne was murdered. Apparently, Bruce was building a bridge for a young engineers competition. So it's the competition is being held at the zoo, and a lot of the animals come from distressed areas, so they have to they have to build a bridge for a place like that, but themed around an animal. This is even Bruce is assuming he has around a bat, but back as Batman, he looks a bit more like Batman normally looks, but a bit, quite a bit smaller in the arms and chest. But he's got the gang leader at gunpoint, and well, he realizes that he got to think bigger. He does some recon when it comes to the guns and drugs coming into the city. It's pointed out that there's a specific route. Basically, the guns and drugs come in largely through Florida, through the Orange Blossom Special. 80% of the illegal weapons right into Gotham. Gangs in the row get almost all their guns and pills from the OBS. And Batman goes after one of the trucks. They're largely shipped in produce trucks because it's a lot easier to fudge the weights on those. But he goes after the truck with a remote control car, which he's rigged up as a weapon, and basically the truck crashes, spilling out weapons. Batman fights off some of the goons from Maroni and or Falcone families. There's a lot of Bruce talking to his dad about the bridge, and also it's explained that Thomas Wayne, for a while, wanted to be a doctor, but it's explained that a heart surgery to be exact, and Thomas Wayne explains that when he was a kid, his dad drove the G39 bus route 6 days a week. On his day off, he'd take the two of them would go down to amusement mile, walk out on the pier. There was a guy there who sold these frozen bananas dipped in chocolate, and they'd get one. Thomas loved it. But one day, they were on their way to on the pier. All of a sudden, Thomas's father just dropped. Thomas thought his dad was playing a game, but then he saw his father's face. He knew that his father was dead, and the fear, the terror of being left alone like that. He had a massive coronary, apparently, the doctor said, and became it. So Thomas wanted to be a heart surgeon to make sure that no one. To try and make sure that others wouldn't have to deal with what Thomas did. And Thomas was about to apply to med schools when Martha got pregnant with Bruce, and all that changed things. But And Thomas went through a period of searching, looking for what he wanted to be, who he was, beyond a father, beyond a husband. And then he realized that his desire to be a doctor was really just about wanting to prevent other kids from feeling what Thomas had felt that morning. As a teacher, though, he could make kids feel safe by preparing them for the world. And that means that maybe in another life he was a doctor. He was. And so, but in this one, teaching gave him a way of doing the core thing. Bruce is constantly working on improving the bridge, but we find out what Bruce had to say to Joe Chill, saying that he knows that Joe Chill gets to make a statement. Before that, he wanted to say that he had a moment to think about everything that happened that day, and he just wanted to say what he realized. Bruce, that is. That morning, it was perfect. Bruce had wanted a trip for his class and was walking with his friends. They were laughing at how weird the giraffes were with their tongues all long and black. But the best part was Bruce's dad. He was playing it like he didn't notice, but he caught glimpses of his father behind him, so I was proud of him. And he knew in that moment, that was as happy as it gets, ever. And he wanted to stay and never leave. I think maybe that he was still coming at it, but we get more of Bruce's journey. But he says that Joe Chill killed Bruce's happiness. And he's not staying for anything that Chill has to say. He doesn't care what made him do what he did. And he just needed Chill to know that Bruce hates him. And we also see part of Bruce bulking up, also making a new bat suit. And the final version of the bridge has everything that previous designs had, but one extra feature: it flies. It's lightweight and foldable, so it can be dropped from a plane and parachute down, so people can set it up themselves. There are instructions on one of the flaps. It'd be a tool to use whenever they need. They don't have to rely on the powers that be to set it up. It makes the bridge theirs. They can use it for aid, for defense, for offense even. But Batman, during his early days, Batman's basically eyeing a social function, noting all the people that basically, just basically prey on Gotham, making note of them, and also recording what the various things the various deals they make. He gets spotted by the police, though, and and jumps from the building. And then the issue ends, though, with Bruce as an adult going to visit Joe Chill in prison. Saying, and he says simply, well, you had something you wanted to say? That, as I said, is where the issue ends. Interesting. I'm assuming that get back on track with what was going on in Batman's present in the Absolute Universe next issue. Though I figured we'll also get to know what Joe Chill had to say. Moving on, though, to our last DC book for the week, we've got DC vs. Vampires World War V, number 6. Where we left off, Mr. Miracle and his daughter had managed to escape running with various powers, as well as his wife, who's been turned, Big Barda. And we pick up with that in New Hope, Pennsylvania. Barda's basically been dogpiled by Red Tornado, Supergirl. I can't tell. I think maybe Steel and Lobo, and they notice that Mr. Miracle's gone. Not far away, however, Aquaman, who has been tasked with finding the child, has found the child. And, well, he doesn't care if the child is killed or not, but Jane of the Wonder Twins turns herself into water, takes some more water, and, as well as a bear, and attacks Aquaman. However, Mira is wearing Black Manta's costume anymore, and manages to screw it to basically stop Jada's attack. And it seems that Scott and his daughter drown. At a human safe house near Gotham, Flash is basically recovering from power in Gotham City. It was discovered he was powering Gotham in the last issue, and Ollie is talking with Lois, and basically saying that, yeah, this is an act of war. We need to, and some vampire sentries are 30 miles away. One get shanked, well, just after they've been told to inform, let the vampires know if anything seems off. And Damien is volunteers to not as forcing him to, but more like he says that he's going to assume his mother's seat on the Human Council. Well, Green Arrow's wondering where Constantine is. The hooded figure states that he's dead, but the hooded figure did not kill him. Meanwhile, Supergirl and her allies return empty-handed from trying to get the child and Mr. Miracle. And Jaina tells the assembled group that So that's Mr. Miracle and the child are dead. The hooded figure is revealed to be Metron, who states that the vampires are already on their way to attack the humans. But they're making a land march. But an old woman appears before Grodd, stating that her and the Queen have unfinished business. But Grodd tosses her aside. And the sizable force of vampires attack. Supergirl tries to talk peace with Queen Gordon, but well, Barbara expected some groveling, and well, she's not getting that, and so Supergirl uses her heat vision and sears a line in the snow, basically saying anyone crossing the line will pay. And Wonder Woman attacks Supergirl, and both Ollie and Grodd order the attack, and it becomes a massive melee. But Swamp Thing joins in on the human side. But suddenly, there's a massive boom. Darkseid has arrived to speak with Queen Gordon. So, to a point of ruler to ruler, but still with Darkseid being, playing as being superior to her. He wants his granddaughter, but Aquaman foolishly brags about having killed both his granddaughter as well as his son, and so Darkseid says that's unfortunate. And there's nothing for Darkseid on Earth, and so he orders his forces to burn it all. Boom tubes open up throughout the battlefield, and parademons pour through. Meanwhile, elsewhere, John Constantine wakes up in front of Fate, the Spectre, and the Phantom Stranger. And turns out he's dead. And it's confirmed he is dead, but his work is not done. And we're getting a one-shot, a World War V one-shot next month, and then issue 7 in March. And as always, we have a backup story. The Hunger, Part 1. Focusing on Animal Man, who's been utilizing scorpions and their ability to absorb utilizing bullfrogs and to stay awake, and scorpions to basically absorb UV light. But he he's been hunting, and apparently someone enters the Baker household. Turns out that his wife and kids are locked in the basement. But Buddy returns home, sees that his family's no longer locked in the basement. And also that, animal blood just hasn't been cutting it for them, but and so, but he's pushed into the basement, and locked in the basement by his wife, who told him to have a good sleep. That the issue ends. Interesting. It's nice. The backup stories in World War V have been pretty cool. I think that as I recall, the first couple DC vs. Vampires miniseries had similar stories, which basically fleshed out what all had happened to other characters who weren't involved in the main story. But anyways, as always, that's going to do it for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Blue Sky, Instagram, Mastodon, Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off saying, live long and rock hard.